We know that for most operators, data has become the new money spinner, and this last week the regulator in Kenya has dropped the 3G license fee to $10 million so that to make it accessible for other entrants into that space. And what Zain Kenya has said is that they're going to capitalize on it and start offering 3G mobile services. Can you tell us more?
Good evening. Thanks for the invitation. Well, definitely data has been one of the key drivers for growth, particularly in Kenya, where for Zain Kenya today, 15% of revenues come from data. Therefore, the fact that the spectrum cost for 3G for smaller mobile players in Kenya came from $25 million to 10 is great news and something that has to be commended to the government and the regulator. So our plans going forward is basically to continue leveraging on the opportunities for growth in the data business in Kenya, trying to offer the best value for money and obviously the best speed and wide coverage to all data customers across the country.
Okay, we also know of the dynamic innovations by way of money transfer services. You have Zap, Safaricom has M-Pesa. We know that Zain pioneered phone-to-phone transfer services as well. And at a time where we're told that 42% of growth in the industry is going to come from the mobile phone sector, there needs to be some sort of synergy between your data growth innovations and the use of mobile phone handsets. What are you going to be offering the market?
Well, obviously, projecting figures in our industry is very difficult because of the fact that it's a very dynamic industry. Going forward, the main driver will be value-added services. So the 15% of data revenues we get today in our business, the idea is to grow it exponentially through mobile commerce. The main difference today we have the competition is that our Zap mobile commerce solution is way beyond the concept of money transfer solution only. So today we are in partnership with over 85 banks and financial institutions where we can offer a variety of very competitive and comprehensive mobile commerce solutions to all our customers. The main strategic change in direction will obviously be the fact that Zain Kenya will move from being a niche, high-value customer operator and becoming a mass market mobile operator in line with the strategy that Bharti plans for the 15 countries in Africa that they have just acquired. So the future for value-added services, mobile commerce, and data going forward is very bright, and it's obviously one of our key pillars for us to continue growing in this market.
All right. Now, amongst other interventions being made by the regulator in Kenya, were reports this week of the regulator saying that any changes in shareholding is now going to be subject to the regulator's approval, especially any deals that involve shareholding above 15%. And many people read into these comments from the regulator a response, a tacit response to Bharti's acquisitions of Zain Kenya and, broadly speaking, Zain assets in Africa. Now, what do you make of the regulator's comments about the need for approval of any changes in shareholder structures?
I think the regulator in Kenya has been playing a key role in trying to develop the industry. The recent developments in terms of reducing the 3G spectrum cost from the $25 million initially to $10 million, trying to introduce competitive regulations to help smaller players to compete with dominant players, are clear signs that the regulator really wants to create a level playing field and give the opportunity to foreign investors to continue bringing money or capital injection into Kenya. So I think, obviously, as we move forward, there will be new regulations and aspects to look at, but I don't think the purpose of those regulations and new guidelines from the regulator are against foreign investors' willingness to bring growth into the economies of the country.
All right. Now, although Zain Kenya is the second largest operator in the Kenyan economy, the brand has really suffered a lot, and many people see that as the reason why market penetration hasn't been as high as what it potentially could be. We're talking about Bharti's acquisitions of Zain. It's the fifth such time that Zain has changed ownership hands. And in terms of the consumer and the stability of the brand, there is a sense that there needs to be a lot done to really stabilize ownership issues, so that you stabilize the brand, so that you gain more from brand equity. What are you going to be doing going forward?
Sure. Well, the changes in brand, particularly in Kenya, are issues related to shareholding where the local management doesn't have obviously decision on or interference at. Now, what I can tell you is that going forward, the plans for Bharti to create one of the leading brands across 15 countries in Africa are very strong. We're going to invest a lot of money in building infrastructure, in expanding our coverage, introducing new technology, and trying to really leverage on the fact that today the mobile penetration in Kenya is below the 40% mark, and therefore the potential for growth going forward is still massive. Obviously, it won't happen in 24 hours. Creating a brand, which, as you said, has changed 4 times over the last 8 years, is going to be a massive challenge. But I think with the right strategic direction that we're going to get from Bharti and the very aggressive plans to become one of the leading brands, but by no later than 2015, obviously we'll make it happen.
All right, and then finally, we're seeing consolidation in telecoms across the African continent. In Kenya, it's reported that larger operators are starting to either partner with smaller service providers, if not buy them out completely, in order to boost on their market share and on the research and innovation tools at their disposal. Going forward, what are your plans to consolidate beyond your partnership with Bharti, but also in terms of making yourselves more relevant within Kenya?
I think our plans going forward in Kenya will be obviously to build on the opportunity we have of becoming part of a leading brand like Airtel Africa very soon. We don't have in the short term or even in the mid-term to start aggressive acquisition in the local market. We're going to have to develop opportunities we still have in the market, trying to target the mass market in a much more aggressive way, building the fundamentals in the business, building distribution network, expanding our coverage, introducing affordable products and services, developing the data business, and making our mobile commerce solution much stronger as compared to what it is today. I think that will be our focus over the next 24 months, and therefore probably merger and acquisition will be for much more mature operators who have probably no more opportunity to continue growing organically, and therefore that will be one of the vehicles for them to continue growing in terms of top line.